I'm so excited that you signed up for this craft. Today's craft is alcohol ink washer necklaces. So it's very simple. There's different techniques you can use to make the alcohol ink go onto the washers, but it's very, very simple, and I think you'll come out with a really great product. So I want to show you your kits. I already got a kit, little bag with the instructions attached. So I'm going to go over what's in the bag. Lots of things are in the bag, lots of little things. The first thing on your supply list is washers. So at the bottom of your bag, you're going to find a lot of assorted sizes of washers. So there'll be bigger ones, smaller ones, even littler ones, and actually one larger one also. So you'll see all different kinds of sizes that I've sent along, and you can that way make more than just one necklace. You can layer them with several washers together and make, one bigger necklace. You can do smaller ones on top of maybe the medium sized one. I'm going to show you different ways that you could put them together. So anyway, assorted washers, lots of choices you'll have. And then you're going to have, your bag will include the alcohol inks. So you'll have different combinations of colors. You should each have at least 4, if not 5 or 6 of these alcohol inks in your kit. I tried to mix up, greens and blues and pinks and browns and blacks, so you'd have kind of colors that would maybe go together, spectrums of difference between light and dark. So these are your alcohol inks. And then you're going to have a little orange applicator or a pin in your kit. This is literally a cap with a pin in it that will open each individual ink. Okay, so you'll have to press it down to open that bottle up so that the ink comes out. They're all closed tightly. So make sure that you've got this or the pin that I've sent along to open each ink. You also have lots of string, cording, different colors, different sizes. These you're going to use to finally make your necklace and tie them on the washers to create an actual necklace. So lots of options there. Most important thing are gloves. This is an alcohol ink that is very saturated. It dyes everything. Do not get it on your clothes. Do not get it on any woodwork or any tile, anything. It will permanently dye whatever you're working with. So today I brought a paper plate to work with. In the past I've done a styrofoam bowl. Whatever you've got to put down, be it even newspapers or magazines, it's got to be a lot of layers because this could go through onto a surface and dye it. So paper plate would probably work best in your home. Make sure you're always wearing gloves when you work with these. The other thing that you'll need to get from your house is cotton balls, because you can go ahead and drip just a drop or two of ink onto a cotton ball and then dab it onto your washers, and that will create different patterns on your washers. So those are your supplies. That's all you need to be able to do this. Once the alcohol dries, it needs to dry a good 24 hours to be set. It'll be dry to the touch within like 3 to 4 hours, but let it completely dry before you pick it up. Otherwise, you worry about rubbing it off on your hands or smudging the design. But once it's completely dry, then it's permanent and won't rub off. Now there are some sealants that you could get to put on it that would then make it a little more shiny, completely weatherproof. And there's one by Mod Podge. We all know that brand, Mod Podge, and that's a great one. It's really inexpensive, and it might be something that you want to invest in just to finish the product. But I wanted to show you the necklace that I created, and I'm going to actually do some close-up shots of this because it's kind of hard to see from where we're at right now. But literally I just am dropping the ink onto it, letting it dry, and then I put a single cord on it, and that's all that it took to create this particular necklace. Very quick, really nothing to this design, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to work with this is one of the smaller to medium size washers. I'm going to work with a larger one just for surface area to show how this looks when we put ink on them. So again, make sure you have gloves and protective material so you're not going to get it on you. I've already opened all of my inks because I've already made one, right? So they're already open, ready to go. And they pour out really fast. Like, you don't need to squeeze it, I should say. If you were to squeeze it, it's going to pour out really fast. It has a very thin little opening now, and they just kind of drop out. And that's what you want them to do. So I'm going to maybe not work with the blues and greens now, because that's kind of what I did here was the purples and the blues and the greens, and this is the color that came out on mine. So I'm going to start with a lighter color, a peach actually, but it looks pretty pink when you start dropping it. So this is your little teeny tiny droppers. Again, if I were to squeeze this, this would go everywhere. So when I just tip it over, one drop of the ink will come out and land on the washer. So I'm just going to put a drop on here. And when you put that little drop of ink on these washers, you'll see the design spreads out. And I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so now you can see this washer better. And you can see when I go ahead and just do a tiny little drop on the washer. I'm going to move that in closer. You can see where the ink is at. Now you can see this lighter spot over here. That was ink that I put on and let dry. And the intense color tends to go away if you just put on the single little layers. You can see that one that I put on is evaporating and drying, so the intense color goes away. But I can add to it, I can keep adding to it to keep intensifying that color. Okay, so I'm going to open that other color that I talked about, is a purple, and I want to add, and that one is a lot looser, and you can see that that added a big drop and how it's spreading. And I can tilt it, make it run a certain direction. In fact, I'm thinking that first color might not be open as well, so you can go back and put the pin in, make sure it's really open, and then doesn't seem, There we go. So see, it's a lot more liquidy than when I first started with just a tiny little drop. So sometimes your ink might not be as open as you would like it. So play around with that, make sure that it is open, and then you can keep adding colors in here. So again, this purple is really spreading quite a bit. And then you just keep adding colors in, and they can spread and make different designs. And at this point I'm thinking, these colors are very heavy on the pink, so maybe I want to just add one drop of another color and see how those interact and spread around and make different patterns. And this is just the idea of dropping ink down onto the washers. And you can really see, any of you that ever did those coasters with us, it's kind of the same idea where it spreads then and makes some different patterns once it starts spreading. So that's the idea of dropping it. Now I could go ahead and get cotton balls and control it a lot more. The smaller amount of ink, then I would be just pressing the cotton ball onto the washer and it will make even more patterns. So I'm going to keep working on this one that I've got to see if I can get a pattern that I like. And again, once this dries, I could, see that blue's got a lot of movable ink on it. This one's a white. Some of you have white in your packets and some do not. You can really see how that then starts picking up the other colors. I think I'm going to add more of this lighter pink color in here. You really can see it start moving those other colors around and building. And I really am trying to get the silver out of here. I don't want any of that silver showing. But you could, if you want, to leave some of the silver. That could be part of the design. And so again, if I let this sit or even blow on it, it would move the ink around a little bit, move the design around. But if I'm happy with what I have, then I just let it dry. Or I can let it dry and come back then and add more color onto it. So really this is anything you'd like, any design. And then if it's not a design that you like and you're thinking, ugh, this this is getting too dark, or it's not what I was hoping for, if you have rubbing alcohol, you can just put that on a Q-tip and rub it right off and start over. But I urge you not to do that. Give it some time. Give it some time to dry. See if it's something that you would like to design and work on, and go back in and add to. As again, once this dries, maybe I'd come back with a lighter color in this dark area. And actually, the more I look at it, I like it more and more. So I really don't give up on your design right away if you're concerned about it and thinking, boy, this just isn't going to look right, or it's not what I was hoping it would look like. Just give it some time. I'm going to take off my gloves here and show you this necklace that I completed. So again, these are completely dry. They lose that wet look, but if you like the wet look, I would encourage you to go to get the Mod Podge and put that on there for the gloss. And then I did a smaller one to complement. I used the same colors as I did on the big one, and then once they were dry, I just knotted them together. And it made a little pendant then. And again, you'll have different rope cording that you can put. I could put this on a thicker one. I maybe would have woven some of them together to make multicolors. It's up to you. There's no right or wrong. I think each one's going to be so unique and really neat to see. And maybe even, you know, I got some additional washers after I did the first one. You know, I might even go back in and create the same color combination and string it on and add it on to the necklace to make even more layers. There's no right or wrong here. So I hope you have fun with it. Show me your pictures. And I look forward to seeing all of your own creations of your alcohol ink washers necklaces. So it really is that simple. So I hope you enjoy it. You'll be able to find this video, or hopefully you found this video already. It's on Facebook and on our YouTube channel, and that's in your instructions. So make sure you're paying attention to your instructions. And don't forget to sign up for the October craft. It's coming quickly. It's the lighted pumpkin mason jar lids. So it's the lids that'll be put together. You'll be able to design them. And then it creates a little pumpkin. We're going to have little lights to put in there. That it will be a nice little lighted decoration you'll be able to put on a table, shelf for fall. So hope to see you soon in the building. Space is limited. There's only 15 spots. So make sure you sign up if you want to be in the actual building. Now there's a fly attacking me. So see you soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.